After that, the sauna of Lloyd instantly become full of customers once again. The mermaids succumb to the relaxation effect of the sauna, and what was with them was the flashing watch attached in their wrist. As time passed by, the glow from the small octopus that was in the watch slowly faded, until the time that the lights turn off and the light octopus in there becomes malnourished. This is how capitalism works. Then this legendary guy entered like he was some sort of security guard, slamming the door. Lloyd looks at the merman and says, "Customer number 4, 12, and 13. Your time is up. I will see you tomorrow at the excavation site." Lodita could only look at Lloyd. In her mind, what a pesky human. I won't let him make a fool out of me. The bathhouse today will be the last day I will come here. The sun in the northernmost ocean started to rise, and there the devil welcomed them. Lloyd said, "Welcome. I am the site manager, Lloyd Frontera. Now, start digging." Lodita and the other muscular mermaids were shouting and used their strength to start digging the area where Lloyd ordered them to clear. After that, Lodita felt that her muscles were aching too much again. She starts punching his shoulders once again, thinking that she needs to relax her muscles once again. The day after that, Lloyd welcomes her once again with his serious face. He gives her the light watch as the timer for the bathhouse usage. He said, "Welcome. I am the bathhouse manager, Lloyd Frontera. I hope you have an enjoyable stay today as well." Then Lodita starts relaxing at the bathhouse once again. After that, Lloyd welcomes her as the site manager of the excavation site, and then welcomes her as the manager of the bathhouse once again. The cycle continues again and again. Lodita starts digging in the excavation site once again to enter the bathhouse, but she starts sweating when she notices something strange. For her, there is something wrong in her life. She felt like she had become a puppet, completely controlled by pain and pleasure, pulling her up and then drowning her down. In her mind, I have to stop this. I have to. I must stop this vicious cycle. But when she was in the bathhouse, she succumbed to it and she doesn't want to stop it anymore. Lloyd was standing at the top of the cliff together with Javier and Rotulua. He smiled like a demon, knowing that his plan was progressing well. On the other hand, Rotulua started to sweat as he looked at the face of the person whose hands he had joined. Rotulua starts to get anxious because of it. In his mind, that demon, he is making use of us, Mermen, as slaves, isn't he? Was I an accomplice in selling out my brethren? Lloyd asks him, "Do you feel like you have become the accomplice of a demon?" Then Lloyd's emotion changes like he was some sort of angel. He says, "We never forced anyone. Not even once, right?" Rotulua's expression suddenly changed, looking at the face of Lloyd. But in the end, he realized that what Lloyd said was making sense, and they did not force anyone to do that kind of job, and that is also for the better. Lloyd uses his skill to scan the area. In his mind, the mermen have dug up a lot with their crazy physical strength for 1 month. The ground's thickness has decreased quite a bit. Then he was alarmed when he noticed something while using his skill. He told everyone to stop digging. He notices that there is a square piece on the ground. That is why he hurriedly jumps down and runs to where the square piece is located. Then he hurriedly dug it down. After Lloyd digs, he notices something, blocks with unique designs. They were shocked to see what is below that soil. He said, "It exists. This is the place where the truth jewel was at." He was panting after the digging and still could not believe at what he saw. In his mind, I felt uneasy. What if it was just a legend? What if I really don't find anything? All the misery around me, what if I cannot stop that from happening? Lloyd bows down and feels good that his worries are slowly fading after finding the biggest lead to the solution to his problem. Lloyd smiled and said, "Great, let's start finding the blueprint." Javier just looked at his master, who was happy. Lloyd called Rotulua and told him that it was time to find the blueprint, but Rotulua was bursting into tears. He said, "Father, it actually exists. I really thought it didn't exist." Hearing that, Lloyd said, "What did you just say? Never mind. Forget it. Just where is the blueprint?" Rotulua, who was still crying, started scanning the area. He said, "Based on my predecessor's records, we need to find it in the center of the jewel site. The blueprint is kept in magic storage and it should have a keyhole of sorts." Lloyd uses his skill and he was able to locate the keyhole to the blueprint easily. Rotulua and Lloyd look into it. Rotulua said, "I am sure of it. That is definitely a keyhole." Lloyd was confused. He said, "Huh? Wait a minute. If this is a keyhole, then where is the key?" Then suddenly, a strong wave was felt by all of them and it was resonating somewhere. Even Rotulua was being pushed by it. Rotulua said, I was told that the keyhole would tell us where the key is. What is happening right now? Lloyd looks to the place where the waves are resonating. It was resonating above them, so he followed where it was. In his mind, the keyhole will tell us the location of the key. Could it be? But looking deeply at it, the waves were resonating at the large octopus who was holding the whole Merman Kingdom. That octopus was crying because of pain. But because of the pain, the large octopus slowly loses his hold on the large kingdom of the mermaids. Lloyd shouted, the key to the blueprint. Is it in the stomach of that thing? The whole Merman Kingdom starts shaking because of it. King Ariel, together with other mermaids, starts moving. King Ariel said, it is all over if that falls. Evacuate the people. The mermaid soldier said, fortunately, most of them are outside because of the work they have been doing for that human visitor. King Ariel was shocked and then she smiled. She said, what? So that human is a good guy, huh? On the other hand, this guy who was called by King Ariel the good guy is the main suspect in this incident. Lloyd asks Javier, is this because of me? Javier told him that it was definitely his fault. Lloyd replied, I was hoping you would say no. Javier grabs Lloyd and he says, I will take care of the Merman Kingdom. You go and find the key, for the sake of the territory that you wish to protect so badly. Lloyd was silent after hearing that. Then Javier started spreading his wings to fly and he also grabbed Lloyd with him. King Ariel starts exhaling and shouting. She was preparing to catch the meteor that Madara had thrown at her. I mean, she was preparing to catch the whole kingdom before it plummets to the bottom. With all her might and strength, she was able to catch and push the kingdom little by little. But even the strongest king could not carry the whole kingdom. She starts cursing because the effort she put into is not working at all and the kingdom continuously plummet to the bottom. But she was suddenly confused that the burden carrying the whole kingdom started to lessen, and she looks at the person at her side. It was Javier who was helping her. King Ariel looked at Javier happily. She said, I am truly thankful to you both. Even if it was the fault of his master, with a straight face Javier told King Ariel, you're welcome. Lloyd's shamelessness has rubbed off on Javier. On the other hand, Lloyd was in front of this giant octopus who was crying like a baby. It was holding his mouth and was burping at some time. Seeing the reaction of this large octopus, in Lloyd's mind, those symptoms, I am sure of it. This is a very bad news. It is suffering from indigestion. The large octopus burped so forcefully that it pushed Lloyd away with its strong exhalation. The force was so powerful that it made it even more difficult for King Ariel and Javier to push the entire kingdom, which was being propelled by the strong air. Due to the movement of the giant octopus and the force of the wind, the entire sea shook, creating strong waves. Lloyd could only seek cover from the powerful water wind while pondering how to handle the situation. In his mind, for starters, if I don't treat that guy's indigestion, then we cannot do anything else. I had an indigestion before too. How did I recover from it? Back then it was father and mother. In the past, Kim Suho's father was taking care of him when he was sick. His father said, my goodness, your indigestion is pretty severe, huh? At this time, Kim Suho was lying down because of pain. He said, it hurts. I want to puke, but it's not coming out. His father said, wait there. I will do something that will help you feel better right away. Kim Suho was panting while lying down and his father already returned. His father was holding a knife and he said, give me your finger. Poke with this. Got it? Kim Suho started acting like a child. He said, Dad, that is not poking. You're stabbing into it. His father smiled and showed him the needle. He said, come on, I was just joking. Give me your hand. Kim Suho replied, seriously, please don't joke at a time like this. His father starts poking his fingers and Kim Suho felt the pain in her fingers. His father said, oh my, look at how dark your blood is. His father asks him, how do you feel right now? Better, right? Kim Suho replied, I don't know. It feels like I am better, but at the time, not really better. And Kim Suho starts burping. Hearing that made Kim Suho's father smile. He said, see, you feel better, right? Kim Suho told his father that he could not tell at all. Then Kim Suho's mother appeared. She said, darling, don't you watch television? They say that doesn't help. His father replied, what? Really? This completely cured me when I was younger though. Then Kim Suho's mother started pushing her husband. She said, "Step aside. In times like this, you have to puke it all out to feel better." His mother starts touching his abdomen. She smiled and said, "My son, you trust me, right?" Kim Suho slowly opens his eyes and begins asking his mom what she is doing. However, his mom is already raising her arms and clenching her fists, poised for a full attack. With full strength, his mom smashes him in the stomach. Perhaps this is where Lloyd gains his brutality, which is from his own mother. With that strong and clear hit to his stomach, Lloyd is forced to vomit, expelling everything. Surprisingly, a rainbow emerges from his mouth. Going back, the large octopus continuously went wild because of the indigestion, and the whole kingdom was already tilted and nearly on the bottom surface. Lloyd starts panicking, and a multitude of questions flood his mind. Is that how I got better back then? Would that work on an octopus? Are those methods legitimate? Will they work for sure? He remembers the time when his mother said, "How do you feel?" "My hands are like magical healing hands, aren't they?" "Oh, is it legitimate?" You are definitely a natural science student. Whether it is legitimate or not, you will have to experience it yourself. Then Lloyd starts shouting, calling at Javier. He said, "Javier, use Aura Blast on the end of the octopus tentacles. Made it weak enough so it won't pierce through it. Just a little bit." But at this time, Javier's hand was full, and he told Lloyd that his hands were too busy to do that. Then Lodita appeared, helping them push the Merman Kingdom. Together with her are the other mermaids in the kingdom and the victim of Lloyd's schemes. Lodita with all her might shouted, "Everyone charge!" Used the stamina training of heavy labor and the routine relaxation from the bathhouse. A lot of them were pushing, and they managed to push through their whole kingdom before it sinks and hit the bottom. It also gives time for Javier to fly towards the large octopus to do what Lloyd orders him. He flew near the octopus to fulfill his tasks and get a good angle. After that, Javier charges and poses an attack stance, then releases multiple aura blasts aimed at the large octopus. Multiple aura blasts are approaching at every tentacle of the large octopus. And then it pricks down the tentacles of the large octopus. It stops from crying and starts burping. After seeing that hit, in Lloyd's mind, the usual way to do it is to tie up its tentacles before we prick them, but this should be enough to cause some changes. Whether it was surprised due to the pain or not, it burped, so we have cleared the stage 1. Then Lloyd shouted that it was time for the final hit. Then Lloyd starts summoning 3 of his Pokemons. It was Hamang, Bangle, and Podong. They are holding their breath in the water. Lloyd said, "Guys, because you are not in my clothes, you don't have the blessings of the necklace. Let's end this quickly." Podong and Bangle start to grab at Hamang. Then Hamang absorbs a lot of water. Hamang releases the water in his mouth to create a strong pressure and pushes them towards the octopus like a cannonball. They are so small, just like an ant, but are approaching the stomach of this large octopus at a faster rate. They are approaching near the stomach, and Lloyd takes this chance to aim and use his skill from his shovel. With all of his strength and power, Lloyd uses a blast that pushes them faster toward the stomach of that large octopus. And they rotate at a faster rate like a cannonball and hit the large octopus. With that strong impact, the octopus was able to burp everything and puke out all the causes of indigestion, making it more relaxed. In that large number of bubbles that come out in the mouth of the large octopus, there is also a seahorse-like trophy that seems to be the key to the blueprint. Javier grabs it. With that, Lloyd was happy that they got the key to the Truth Jewel blueprint.